Hi, this is Rabbi Jeremy from Mahar, and this is our Kabbalat Shabbat video for the weekend of September 16th, 2022. So before we get started with what we'll talk about as particularly special about this weekend, let's go ahead and recite our blessings for candles, wine, and challah. So if you have those, but you don't have them where you are, go ahead and pause me, go grab them, come back. I'll recite the blessings, and just pause. I'll be here. Okay, so if you're back after getting your candles, your wine, your challah, all of that stuff, we'll recite our blessings. Nivarech et haor ba'olam, Nivarech et haor ba'adam, Nivarech et haor shel Shabbat. Let us bless the light in the world. Let us bless the light in humanity. Let us bless the light of Shabbat. For our wine, Nivarech et borei pri hagafen. Let us bless those who create the fruit of the vine. And then for challah, Nivarech et hamotziim lechem min haaretz. Let us bless those who bring forth bread from the earth. So this weekend, we're about 10 days right now from the start of Rosh Hashanah. So this weekend is significant in the broader Jewish calendar because Saturday evening is an event called Leil Selichot. I almost said Leil Shavuot, which is a totally different holiday. Okay, Leil Selichot. So Leil Selichot are penitential prayers, right? So we know that Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, that these are holidays traditionally associated with not just a new year, but also the process of atonement, of teshuvah, of reconciling with other people, right? So teshuvah means repentance. The word for atonement is actually kippur, and that actually means covering over. So in a way, kippur is not maybe what we want to do, right? Because kippur just means to kind of cover over stuff. What we want is teshuvah, right? To kind of do this introspection that leads us to changing our behavior in ways that are better. And so slichot are traditionally prayers that are recited that ask for forgiveness. And they are mostly not focused on asking for forgiveness from other people, but slichot means pardons, right? So if you were walking around in Israel and you bumped into somebody, you might say, slicha, right? Excuse me. Or if you walked into a store and you needed to ask somebody a question, you might say, slicha, pardon me. Well, slichot is just the plural. For humanistic Jews, we're not likely to get together and have a Leil Selichot kind of thing where we all get together and recite these penitential prayers. Instead, what we are prone to doing is getting together for Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur and focusing on the themes of the holidays as we honor them and as we observe them. But as I mentioned last week in last week's Kabbalat Shabbat video, the process of this is supposed to take a little while. That the idea is that we're using the month leading up to Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur to do some of this work. Leil Selichot, right, this thing that happens like 10 days before Rosh Hashanah comes around, is designed as kind of the, it's like the 2-minute warning in a football game, right? We're getting to the end of the football game. You got 2 minutes. Can you score? So Leil Selichot is almost like that. We're getting really close to Rosh Hashanah. It's not long. It's 10 days. What are you going to do? So that's what Leil Selichot is kind of all about, is this time in the calendar that flags us as we're getting closer to Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur to let us know that time is expiring before these holidays, that these holidays are not about fixing everything in those 10 days, but they're about doing the work in advance so that when you get to those holidays, you're coming around to the kind of the final stretch and you're finishing that work. It's not about beginning the work and getting it all done in those 10 days. It's about finishing the work. So that's kind of what's going on with the high holidays, and that's what's going on with Leil Selichot this particular weekend. Also this particular weekend, if you've hung in there with me for this long, Mahar, our congregation, is starting back up with its fall and spring programming. So on the 18th, Sunday at 10 o'clock, we are starting up our JCS, our Jewish Cultural School, for our kids, and our adult ed programming restarts as well. We're meeting in person. Please wear a mask if you come to our in-person events. And hopefully I will see some of you at our JCS or adult education events on Sunday, and others of you during our high holiday events or during our later Shabbat events. And whatever you do, Shabbat Shalom. And since we're getting really close to Rosh Hashanah, also Shana Tova. Have a happy New Year.